start us off an opening statement. Please raise your hand for questions.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, congrats to Central Florida, for getting that win. But I think it pointed to a very undisciplined football team. Is that what we were tonight? And that pisses me off. And we've been that way, and that's on me. We're going to get that fixed. We got 3 more weeks, and then we got an off season. But we're going to do everything we can to get that fixed. And you cannot win football games being that undisciplined. And that is the turnovers. That is the penalties. I mean, we had a player get kicked out tonight. I mean, those type things is not who we want to be. And it's embarrassing that we do those things. We got to get that fixed, and we're going to continue to work hard to get that fixed. Whoever wants to show up in that locker room tomorrow, we're going to continue to work on that. And that's what I told them in the locker room just then. That's unacceptable. I feel like a broken record coming in here, where we're outgaining teams by over 100 yards, and yet we're on the short end of the stick. And it comes down to, I don't know, you can pick the number of plays, 6 or 8 plays. But there's a difference in the game, and that is what's frustrating. And I know it's frustrating to our crowds that show up, and I appreciate everyone that shows up out there and that have to look at that crap, and it pisses me off. And we got to get that fixed. I know that. We understand that, and we're going to. Because we did some great things tonight, and that gets overshadowed by some undisciplined play. I mean, the work of our running backs. And, these guys didn't even practice. They didn't even practice till Wednesday, and they're coming out, and we got 2 guys over 100 yards again. We've done that several times this year, and so I'm extremely proud of them, the way they competed. Offensive line, opening up holes like they did tonight. Great job. It's just frustrating, and obviously, and but we're going to work to continue to get that fixed. And even at that, all of that, we still had a chance to go down here and tie the game. We didn't hit the 2-point play. And because our guys played their butts off, and that's what's frustrating. And when we got about, I don't know what the percentage is of guys that are playing undisciplined. We got to continue to work to get better at that. Our plan tonight was to get Brady in at quarterback, and we did that early in the game. Allowed him to go. I thought he played well. Thought Emory played well. The plan was to start Emory, and no matter what happened, we were going to put Brady in because he deserves to play. So we were able to get him in the game. I thought Emory was playing good, so we ended up leaving him in the second half. We could have put Brady in, but I thought Emory was doing a good job. And, got us back in. We drove down the field. It was a great drive. Braden Smith played really good tonight, had some big-time catches, get us in the ball game, and, to put a chance to tie the game there at the end. But, again, just frustrated. We'll just open up with questions.
Chad,
if it is a focus and discipline issue, what's the answer? Is it playing time? How do you approach it?
Yeah, it's going to take some time. It's not going to get fixed in a couple of days. This is going to be, a work in progress, which we know. And, we're going to work hard this week to see if we can fix that. Maybe it's playing time. Maybe it's some other things. Some of the issue is you don't have many guys to put in, right now with our depth issues. But we'll figure some of that out. But it's just being disciplined in little things. It's, and for me, it's everything. It's not just on the field, because I think, when you doing things right off the field, you're going to do things on the field, and that's within our program. But it may take longer, Chad, to answer your question. It may be, that may be the January, February. It's going to be a tough winter here. And, because we got to clean those things up. Because no matter how good you are on the field, you can't go win these games in this league. It's just not happening. And we see it week in and week out. No matter who the teams are, you have to be a disciplined football team. You can't beat yourself. And we've done that so many times this year. And now I'll take ownership of that, and that's what we're going to get fixed.
You mentioned the QB decisions. Was there any reason why Brady went in when he did, or was that always the plan?
That was the plan. Yeah, that was the plan. I think it was the 3rd series, right? Yeah, that was the plan, to put him in the 3rd series and let him get some action and, put him out there, let him play a little bit. Thought he did a really good job. And I think, we'll go into next week. We'll continue to let those guys get equal reps throughout practice, and then, see how we end up as we go throughout the rest of the season.
People get frustrated. You get frustrated. Fans. When they boo the quarterback, how difficult is that for you and him?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I don't like getting booed. I'm sure Emory doesn't like getting booed, or whoever else is playing doesn't like it, especially in your own stadium. Nobody likes to get booed in your own stadium. And, sometimes, these guys that are playing, I mean, they're trying to produce. They're trying to make plays. We as coaches are trying to make the best decisions and calls that we make in order to make plays. And I get it when we don't. It is frustrating, and I think our fans probably have seen too much of that probably, and they get a little bit overzealous in their boos. But I get it because we got to do better. We got to do better. But when you're at home, you'd love to get some support from your people. But they show up and they're awesome. I mean, they are. It's a great home field advantage, and they were great tonight. We came up a little bit short, but we got to do better as players and coaches. Give them something to cheer for.
Is the plan to keep up the quarterback platoon for the
Well, we'll see how it goes this week. Yeah, we'll see. We'll go see how practice goes. Those guys got they work their butts off in practice. Got all have great relationships within that room, and they're pulling for each other. And I would say that we would see both of them play. As we move throughout this season. But we'll see how it all pans out.
You had the completion of Braden down to the 2-yard line, and then immediately the false start. What did you see?
Discipline. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to walk in right there, and we false start. Now it backs us up 5 yards, and now we're struggling to get in the end zone. And I mean that would have made a huge difference, right? But that's the undisciplined football that I'm talking about.
And then on the quarterback situation going forward, is that something that you see as a development tool for Brady, or do you see that as a legitimate way that you can win games?
No, we're trying to win. We're trying to win, and whoever can give us the best chance to win. And I thought they both played good tonight into things that they were asked to do. And I'm not going to put Brady in a situation where he's going to fail, but we're trying to win the game. Both whoever's playing at quarterback, they're going to compete. We're not going to hold anything back as far as those two guys go, and whoever's moving the offense will be the guy playing.
Ryan and Chad.
R.J. Harvey, 167 yards on 20 carries. What was their offense doing that allowed him to go off like that?
Well, I mean, they're number one. They're a very fast offense. They tempo you. They try to get you out of position, and if a guy doesn't fit right, and all of a sudden now he bounced it. I thought he bounced several tonight. Got out the front door. The guy can run. I mean, he's a fast running back. I thought we hemmed him up pretty good in the first half. Then in the second half he got loose on us a little bit, which was guys not fitting right. But I think he's a talented football player. There's no question about it. We got to do a better job of fitting it.
As a follow-up to that, sorry. Second week in a row where we've seen a running back do that in the second half. Is that just, a lack of conditioning?
No, it's not a lack of
just
conditioning.
getting fatigued in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you get worn down a little bit. I don't think it's conditioning. I mean, I think we're in good shape. I think it maybe at times lack of focus, at times not doing your job, not being where you're supposed to be in alignment. I think it's more of that. It's not the physical nature. I think it's more the mental side.
On a positive note, Ryan Montgomery comes back and looked outstanding today.
Yeah, he did. He's another one of those running backs. I mean, he missed 4 or 5 games. I mean, we certainly could have used him throughout that time. And, I think when he went down, whatever it was a month ago, I mean, he was really kind of hitting his stride, I thought. He really could have helped us. And, it was great to have him back today. And, man, he had a great game because, he's a versatile weapon because he can catch the ball in the backfield. He's got that threat of that. But also he's got good vision. And I thought he made some great runs. Him and Corey both, did some great things. Miles was still banged up a little bit too from last week. But I mean, all those guys are running hard and, doing what it takes to really give us a chance to win games.
Scott, how important was that momentum shift early in the game? You don't convert 4th and 1. They get the big play or the pass interference call down the field. That seemed like a big moment early in that game.
It was big. We had gone for the 4th down earlier. We got it. We lined back up on the next 4th down, and we had a pop pass to the tight end. He falls down. I mean, it's an all or nothing play, and we didn't execute. We didn't get it done, and so there's nobody for Emory to throw to. But that was now we were on the plus 40, I think, when that happened. So if you don't get that, you're really not putting your defense in a terrible bind. So I felt like it was worth the risk to try to hit that, and try to get a touchdown there. We'd worked on that all week, and it was unfortunate we didn't execute.
A couple more, Scott and Aaron.
Barry Jackson gets in a couple good plays. It's 2 games for him. He gets 4. how do you walk that tightrope with a player like that obviously can produce?
Man, I think Barry's really an excellent player. I think he's going to be outstanding. He's, we're going to play him in 2 more games. So we'll see which 2 we're going to play him in. But it was a great. You see his talent. I mean, he's got 2 catches on the season. He scored on 1, and I thought he about scored on the other one.
I was going to mention Barry as well, but Kalen Carroll got playing time, Antoine Peake got playing time, some of the younger guys getting in there. Were you happy with what you saw out of some of the younger guys getting
Yeah, I
time?
mean, I think Carroll, I thought, played better tonight. We'll see as we go back and watch the tape. I mean, it's hard to look at everybody play. But those guys certainly had to get in and play. You think about when threats went out. Now, Antoine comes in, and then I think DJ Taylor played a bunch in the second half there. So we'll see how those guys did. I mean, it's hard to say just from watching it on the game.
Russ, final question.
5 sacks tonight. UCF. Was it just lack of hitting the reads and hitting the progressions fast enough, or was it a protection issue?
I think a couple of those were protection issues. One of them was a running play. I know they called it a sack, but it was a running play. And I think they got good pass rushers. I think number 3 and 51 are really good pass rushers. They can get after the quarterback, but I thought that really is probably more protection issues when you think about the sacks. I mean, I know one of them was it looked like number 3 just hit Emory right off the bat, but that was actually a run.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you guys.
Ryan Montgomery next.
I know you had to have been frustrated with being out and not being able to help these guys. How it looked like you were trying to put it out there real quick that you were here to make a big splash.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even not just completely physically, I think me being a leader is a really important thing for this team, and I'll try to take that role, more of a vocal leader role. Yeah, being out the past couple weeks has been frustrating. It's been tough to deal with, but everybody in the locker room and around the building has kind of just been in my ear like, we're ready for you to come back, and we need you. So I'm glad I was able to do that today.
Has there been any games this year where all of you guys were healthy, and how good could you be if all you guys were healthy? Because all of you guys have been dangerous at one point or another.
Yeah. I think when you come in, especially at a running back position as a freshman, even if you come in the spring or the fall, you're probably not healthy the rest of your career. Like you said, everybody in that running back room is very talented, and Coach Sims does a good job of having us all ready. So I think that's probably the biggest thing.
What was working so well for you today? Obviously, you had a big day, 8 carries, 100 yards. What was working there? Obviously, with the holes seem to be big. Just what were you seeing from that UCF defense to allow that to happen?
Yeah, I think it was more of our offensive line. They had a great week of practice, and I think they were kind of up there just moving guys and creating those big holes, like you said. We did a lot of what we've been doing all year, and today kind of just those holes were big and was able to hit them.
Ryan, what do you do as a leader on this team to make sure guys, no bowl eligibility left, keep everybody locked in and keep rowing towards the same goal the rest of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier, that comes with being a leader. There's going to be guys that might not want to finish the year for that exact reason, not being bowl eligible, but there's a lot of other leaders in there like me, guys who came back for their extra year, like Malik and Jawan. We kind of have this Bearcat Council thing, and we're going to take a good look at it tomorrow and figure out the best plan of action, to kind of keep everybody together.
Behind the scenes, how tough has this been on you, kind of experiencing this 7 in a row?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what Bearcat football has been the past couple of years. It's been really difficult, frustrating, hurts, but it's not about me. So I got to make sure I'm there for the younger guys and, hope giving everything I got to them so that they can take this program back to where it was.
Ryan, how would you define success the rest of the year? Three games to go.
Yeah, I think success for us the rest of the year would just look like giving everything we have, kind of like we have all year. We put up numbers that would, otherwise say we're winning games, but we haven't. So I don't think that's going to be success as far as numbers. I think success is just going out there and putting on a product that we're proud of as far as effort.
Coach, Satterfield started talking in here, he seemed as upset as we've seen him. Was he as upset as you've seen him in the post-game locker room?
Yeah, he takes it just as hard as all the players on that team, because he's our leader, #1 up top. So everybody looks at him and looks to him for that leadership. He was pretty visibly upset, especially for seniors like myself and some other guys in there. This isn't how we pictured it. So he really showed that he felt that for us. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Ryan. We'll have Corey Kiner
Thank you.
next. Thanks, Ryan.
Corey, you look like you were trying to set a tone early. Was that in your mind, like go out there and kind of get after them and play aggressive and try to take it to them?
Yes, sir. I felt like I needed to come out there, set the tone early, spark the energy so we can keep pushing the ball and winning, trying to win.
3+ carries of 10 or more yards tonight. What was working for you to allow and hit those holes early to get those big chunk plays?
Just following the blocks, running behind my pads. I felt like this week my big emphasis was being patient and not just running, trying to run downhill every time. Just being patient and hitting it where the creases are.
You're not used to losing. What have you learned this year from that? I mean, it's not an easy lesson.
With pain comes growth. I just learn from our mistakes every week. It's hard. It's hard to come to work every day when you're losing. But I mean, I love football. I love my teammates, and I love the coaching staff. So we just learn that we got to stick together, and we just got to limit our mistakes.
Big picture, what do you guys need to do these last 3 weeks to kind of end the season on a high note?
We just got to stay together. I mean, we're not bowl eligible anymore, so a lot of guys might go separate ways. But my goal is to keep everybody together and keep everybody focused because we still can win the game. Like our goal is to still win football games.
Thanks, Corey. We'll have Jack Dingle.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Corey. Got linebacker Jack Dingle. Questions for Jack?
Jack, how difficult, how frustrating is this to, and in most of these games continue to be in a position where you're close but can't get this team over the hump?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I mean, we know we can win these games. There's just this little things that we're missing, and it's very hard to come up that short against teams that we know we can beat. But it's always we got to have a lot of discipline.
Second week in a row where we saw a running back kind of explode in the second half after bottling them up in the first half. Is that attributed to, I guess, a lack of focus or just adjustments from the opposition?
A little bit of both. I always got to stay focused because he was an explosive guy. Just like we saw last week, that guy was an explosive guy. But this week we had both the quarterback and the running back were both explosive, and we got to keep both of them. So it's a little bit of adjustments and focus, and you just got to have good discipline. All comes back down to discipline.
Brian Threats gets ejected early in the game. How do you, as a defense, kind of recuperate from that? Because it seems like that's not something you guys really plan for to adjust to.
Yeah, I mean, we just try to stay positive. I mean, no matter who's out there, they got to do their job. If someone gets ejected, we just never go blank. We always got to stay up, stay positive, and just keep going and do our job.
You got the cast on your left hand. You all good?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just a little finger broken. I'll be all right. Put a couple screws in there Tuesday. I'll be back at it Wednesday. We'll be good.
Jack, was the team kind of informed and kept up to speed about what the plan was at quarterback this week? Obviously, the flip-flop in the first half with those two guys.
No, I don't really pay too much attention on that side of the ball. they do what they got to do, and I just focus on what our defense has to do and lead our defense to do what we do best.
We've seen some younger guys get some experience in time these past couple of weeks. What have been your thoughts on their play?
I mean, yeah, they're working hard. I tell you what, every week in practice they go hard. They don't give up. They keep on pushing. I mean, they're young. They haven't seen a lot of football, but they be working now. Yeah, they be going.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.